So today, Portugal had one of the best performances in their life against Switzerland. 6-1. That's an incredible score. In my opinion, this is the best performance in this World Cup so far, even better than Brazil's win against South Korea. But here's the shocking point. Our legend, Ronaldo, didn't start. And surprisingly, they won 6-1. In hindsight, it seems that Santos made the right decision not to play CR7. So let's react to ESPN, then I'll give my comments.
All right, let's get to this game then.
Switzerland are hard to beat, you know.
Are they? Were you surprised to see Ronaldo on the bench?
I'll give my opinion. I was absolutely surprised because I never expected Santos will bench Ronaldo. So this was a bold decision for Santos to keep Ronaldo on the bench, and it was very risky. Just think about if Portugal would lose today, the whole media would go turmoil. But Santos proved that the risks he took today did work pretty well.
How did you know that?
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you another way. I was pleased to see Ronaldo on the bench, and this is not the ESPN FC anti-Ronaldo. I was up to there with the guy. I think most people are up to, the forehead with this fella. I think finally we've found out who the boss of Portugal finally is. And it's not Cristiano Ronaldo, it's Fernando Santos. For years and years and years, he's had been at the behest of his star. And he's finally thrown that out and gone, no. And I know there was some talk about the previous time when he came off. This is purely a performance-based decision, purely. He was vindicated with bells on it. Can't say no more than that.
Ale, you said there is no way, you said he should, but that there is no way Fernando Santos will leave Ronaldo on the bench.
In fact, I'll go as far as to say that there's zero chance that Fernando Santos leaves Ronaldo on the bench, that Ronaldo would be on the field and would be the captain for Portugal. And the reason I said that is because historically we thought of Fernando Santos as a very conservative guy. And this is not a conservative decision. Now, whether we thought that Portugal would be better with Ronaldo on the field or not, I think we all agree that a version of Portugal would be better because of the talent that they have available. But it's a conversation that went beyond that. While we sit comfortably in this studio and say, you know what, Fernando Santos, we think you should bench Ronaldo. To be able to make that decision for Portugal in a knockout stage of a World Cup, that says a lot about Fernando Santos himself and saying, I think this is best for the group. I think this gives us a chance not only to win this match, but to win this competition, to win the World Cup. And while the decision makes sense, it's still a gigantic decision. It shows some fortitude from Fernando Santos to be able to do this. Because as we saw in this game, even watching it from TV, the attention, whatever happened on the field, the first thing that we're going to watch is the reaction of Ronaldo over here. And that is going to continue to happen. So the best thing that could have happened for Fernando Santos is Gonzalo Ramos not only scoring, but scoring a hat-trick. It's a dream decision or a dream result for a big decision by Fernando Santos.
A huge decision, Luis Garcia, and he was absolutely vindicated, the Portugal coach, because look at what Gonzalo Ramos did.
So the player who replaced CR7 scored a hat-trick. So can we complain? Nope, absolutely not.
Yeah, and not only Gonzalo Ramos, the whole team, I think, got the benefit of this situation. I think it's been a couple of warnings of Ronaldo doing some different talks and pointing things and players. And at the end, I think he just decided to let's move on. Let's try to do this because it's going to be good for the team. We need a player who can play and run to the spaces, who can live with the players up front. And they found that he's the perfect player. I mean, he's got that composure when he's inside the box. He knows how to move in between the lines. The connection with the other players, with João Felix, with Fernandes, with Silva, has been fantastic. And you can see the way, the body language that he's got. Always quiet, always calm. I think it was a fantastic move. I don't want to take any credit from this Portugal side, but definitely we didn't see the best Switzerland. We didn't see the Switzerland that won in the previous game. And I think that Portugal side, with all these chaotic movements all around, all this freedom in the last there, I think they got advantage of that. And, well, it was a massive result for them.
Honestly, I would not blame the Switzerland because This is more on Portugal. They came here today to play football. They knew how Switzerland will play. They know it. And no one can complain about the team selection. Almost perfect team selection. The midfielders, the attackers, everyone was so good today.
Talk about mental strength. Gonzalo Ramos, 21 years old, knowing all eyes will be on you. Cristiano Ronaldo has been benched, and then to go and do that, is that a new breakout star for the World Cup?
And he has been scoring goals for Benfica, but that's a big step up, isn't it? Big shoes to fill. And he filled them with aplomb. I can only just imagine every time that a goal went in, and the Portugal bench ran down to the touchline. Ronaldo must have been trying to hold like 10 of them back, going, no, I'm going to have to go. He had to follow them, otherwise he knew the cameras were on him, and the story would have been Ronaldo not celebrating. Look, it freed up, and Luis just mentioned it. It just seemed to free up Portugal. We had a youngster with obviously great goal scoring talent, good movement, good runs.
Just to remind you, this is the first hat-trick in this World Cup. Regarding Ramos' performance, it's a 10 out of 10 performance. He had only one bad moment. He has one easy chance missed. That's all. Aside from that, he had almost impeccable performance. Like 3 goals and assist. It's like a dream.
You can't drop him. It's impossible. So maybe Cristiano was hoping that the move and the call would backlash, and then that he would be called back almost as a savior in the quarterfinal, saying we actually need him. Look, we played without him, it didn't work out. It worked better without him than with him. So now you have to go with the same team again. Yeah, maybe you can look at your options at fullbacks, for example. You can maybe move. Neves can come back, for example, if you want, in midfield instead of Carvalho. There's a few things you can do, but you can't drop Gonzalo Ramos right now. Gonzalo Ramos has earned the right, and rightly so, to play in the quarterfinals, and then potentially even more than that if he continues playing the way he did. And it's, again, not just the goals and the assists tonight. It's everything else that he did. It's all the running, all the pressing, all the things that Cristiano didn't do anymore.
So one thing we can say with 100% confidence is that Ronaldo is not going to start for Portugal in this World Cup anymore. That's done.
I thought they were very poor. Not trying to take anything away from Portugal, but as much as Switzerland were really poor, I think credit goes to this Portuguese team, which everybody has discussed, from the starting lineup to how you manage that Cristiano Ronaldo situation, let's call it, to Gonzalo Ramos coming in and having the impact that he did, to a Portugal team that's finding their best performance. As good as they were in the group stage, I thought this was easily their best performance of the tournament so far. So Switzerland will go home, tail between the legs, rightly so, but I don't think that's the story. The story here is a Portuguese team that continues to grow, continues to change who they are, and credit to Fernando Santos. I, as well, didn't think he had it in him to leave out Ronaldo as he did, but no, quite clearly there's no turning back.
There's no way back.
So we already discussed about Ramos, but there are 2 other players Espn didn't discuss how good they were today. First of all, João Felix. What an amazing player. I think he's wasting his talents at Atletico. He should try to force out a move as soon as possible in January. He doesn't belong in Atletico. Atletico doesn't deserve him. Not only he got 2 assists, he was also involved in 4 different goals. Another player not many people are talking about today at midfield, Carvalho. What a performance from him. Like, he was not only stopping all the Switzerland attack, he was also making good pass to the forwards. I think this performance was one of the best performances by any midfielder in this World Cup.
Can you imagine him changing that team now?
No, please.
6-1. 6-1. How they played in the middle of the park, how they played an attacking unit. Yeah, Pepe, almost 40. It's not easy, playing against pace. They might be exposed, but has he other options? He clearly doesn't think he has better options, otherwise he would have played them. But as for the rest, if you win 6-1 and play in that fashion, I just don't see a way. Ronaldo stuff is definitely not changing, but I just don't see how you're going to tinker with the midfield or the fullbacks or anything else. That would be micromanaging.
I don't think Portugal needs any change. They have to keep the winning formation, winning players in the squad, and play the next match. So to end this video, I would say I didn't expect Portugal to be one of the favorites to win this World Cup. But after today's performance, I would say they are one of the favorites. Let me know, who do you predict to win the World Cup in the comment section.